Good afternoon and welcome to the latest issue of Print21, the weekly video news bulletin for the Australia and New Zealand print industry. This issue is sponsored by Bulletin, Australia's largest supplier of printable materials and of press room consumables, and now supplying wide format equipment. We start with good news. Up to 100 million wine labels a year could soon be rolling off the presses of label print businesses across Australia and New Zealand. The 100 million labels come as China indicates it will end its effective ban on Australian and New Zealand wines. The wine label sector is one of the more lucrative for label printers, with vineyards often requesting elaborate embellishments in a bid to set their wine apart, especially for the Chinese market, where Australian wine is viewed as a premium product. Losing 100 million labels a year overnight was a blow to the industry, but gaining them back, while it won't be overnight on the way back, has sent label printers pop in the courts in expectation. The 100 million labels come because the number of bottles Australian wine exported to China before the ban was 100 million a year, each with a label printed locally. That market has never been replaced, leaving label presses around the country, and particularly in the wine producing regions, sitting idle for more than they were used to. The formal final decision is expected in the next week or two from Beijing. But after reviewing the wine tariffs following the recent thaw in Sino-Australian relations, the Chinese government's commercial board has recommended that they be lifted, and what they say apparently usually goes. The Chinese ban set in place 2.5 years ago through astronomical tariffs introduced on wine and other products as relations between Australia and China reached new lows. And they hit the wine industry hard, and particularly local wine label printers. The $1.2 billion worth of exports in wine to China reduced to just 8 million, gives you an idea of how many bottles stopped going there. And of course, many of those bottles had labels with high margin embellishments. Stricken wide format supplier Starleaton has narrowly escaped liquidation, securing a DOCA to start again. But unsecured creditors are still facing losing almost all their money. The DOCA deed of company arrangement was a win for the Eaton family and for the staff, who should now get all their entitlements, including unpaid super, through the company, although it may take actually up to 2 years to get it all. Ben Eaton will be back running the company by the end of the month at the latest. Unsecured creditors, though, who include its suppliers as the hardware and consumables developers, some of whom are owed hundreds of thousands of dollars, they'll see at most 3 cents in the dollar, and more likely or possibly just 1 cent in the dollar. Print businesses that handed over cash to Starleaton in the weeks and months before it hit the skids and didn't receive the equipment or goods that they had requested or paid for, in fact, face a bleak outcome. Several are already in litigation fighting for a return of their money, which is reported to top more than $1 million in total. Print businesses from New South Wales, Victoria and Queensland are among those hit. Under the proposed DOCA, Starleaton will be a much slimmer operation. It will close all its warehouses apart from Sydney. It will retrench all but 6 of its 35 staff, and it will exit hardware supplies entirely, focusing only on consumables. Under the DOCA, stock purchases by Starleaton from now on will be COD. Sales will be a blend of cash in advance, 7-day terms and 30-day end-of-month sales. Industry events are coming thick and fast. The New South Wales branch of LIA is set to tour one of the country's biggest and most impressive wide format print operations next month, with Cactus Imaging to host printers, and Cactus will supply food and refreshments at no cost to attendees. Cactus is part of Media and one of the leading wide format print operations in the country. It has a battery of wide and super wide film printers, and other equipment, and it is the world first finishing kit, and it's developed its own eco-friendly banner material, all of which will be able to be seen on the night 11th of April. The country's biggest printable material supplier, Bulletin, is taking its regional roadshow to Bendigo, following its success in Nowra last year. The event running over 2 days next week, to be held at the All Seasons Hotel in Bendigo, Tuesday 26th of March, that's 11 to 8 on the Tuesday, Wednesday 27th of March, 9 AM to noon. The event will see Bulletin present the latest innovations and advancements in wide format printing. Print people attending will see developments in latex, resin, LED, UV and DTF direct to film, with print solutions from HP, Roland DG, Metamark and Polytape. And for everyone going to Drupa in just 2 months' time, the Print21 Australian New Zealand Drupa party for all those printers who are over in Dusseldorf for the big show, that will take place on Friday evening 31st of May. We're at the multi-award winning Frankenheim Brewery. Go to print21.com.au news website to follow links, book your tickets. That's it for this week's issue of Print21. Go to print21.com.au for all these stories in depth and more that you won't find anywhere else. Thanks to our sponsor Ball and Doggett. This is Wayne Robinson, editor of Print21, signing off.